In the opening of the story, we are introduced to a family living in a peaceful, happy environment, oblivious to the life-changing events that are about to unfold. The husband and wife, engaged in their own conversation, hear sudden screams from outside, disturbing the calmness of their home. As they step outside to investigate, they are taken aback by the sight of chaos around them. People are hurriedly fleeing their homes as though something disastrous is on the brink of happening. Jason and Beth notice their neighbors in a panic, quickly packing their belongings and running away. Jason approaches a neighbor, asking what's going on and why they're leaving so suddenly. But the neighbor is too rushed to respond. Instead, Jason sees the neighbor's child also packing. When Jason asks the child where they are going, the boy replies that his father, a government officer, had informed them of a deadly virus spreading rapidly, transforming ordinary people into monsters. Before Jason can ask more, the mother of the child drags him away, warning them to leave as soon as possible. Jason and Beth are left startled, realizing that the world they knew is on the verge of falling apart. The urgency of the situation becomes even clearer when they notice the chaos spreading rapidly across the neighborhood. With no time to waste, they hastily pack their own belongings and prepare to leave the city, uncertain of what awaits them. The ominous warning from the child leaves them with more questions than answers, but the clock is ticking, and survival instincts take over. Jason and Beth, now filled with dread, decide to quickly leave the city with their daughter. As they head towards their car, they notice something strange. The neighbors who had been running away are now returning. This confuses them even more. As they drive through the streets, they encounter heavy traffic. Their path is soon blocked by police, who are preventing anyone from leaving the city. Helicopters hover above, surveying the area. A police officer informs the crowd that a deadly virus has spread through the city, and people are urged to return to their homes immediately. Jason, bewildered by this advice, wonders why the authorities are telling everyone to stay inside instead of evacuating them. He feels something isn't right. Just then, a large rock suddenly falls from the mountain, narrowly missing their car, and the ground begins to shake. In the distance, 2 fighter jets appear, heading straight for the city. The jets begin dropping bombs on the city, turning it into a pile of rubble. Beth quickly realizes that if they had listened to the police and gone back home, they would have been caught in the deadly blast. The chaos intensifies as fighter jets attack the streets, targeting the fleeing people. Panic ensues, and the realization dawns on Jason and Beth that the government has decided to eliminate everyone in the city amid the bombing. Jason and Beth, along with their daughter, flee toward the mountains in search of safety. As they reach a school near the peak, they are bombarded by more explosions, but miraculously, they find a tunnel in the school. Racing against time, they manage to slip into the tunnel just moments before the bombs destroy the area. Inside the bunker, they feel a brief sense of relief. However, the devastation outside is so severe that they are left with only one question. What is this virus? And why did the government go to such extreme measures? They know that they are now trapped underground, and there is no telling how long they will have to hide from the chaos above. Beth, feeling the weight of the situation, begins to worry about their daughter, who may fall ill without proper medical attention. Moreover, the wound on her own hand, which she got while closing the bunker door, begins to concern her. The family has no choice but to stay silent and wait. Jason secures the bunker door with chains, and they huddle together, uncertain of what the future holds. The days begin to blur into one as they survive on expired food stored in the bunker. Though they are safe for now, the isolation is starting to take a toll. Weeks pass, and the family's patience is running thin. The food is running low, and the monotony of their underground life begins to wear them down. One day, while playing with her mother, Joey, their daughter, notices that the tin cans they have been eating from are mysteriously empty. After checking the rest of the cans, Beth discovers that all of them are empty, and it appears that something has been stealing their food. Suspicious, Beth inspects the ventilation system, suspecting rats. Jason suggests that they need to eliminate the rodent before it ruins everything, but their situation is dire. With limited options, the family realizes that if they run out of food, they may not survive much longer. That night, while Joey and her mother play a game to pass the time, A small rat sneaks in and attempts to steal food from the cans. Joey spots the rat and immediately calls her parents. Jason grabs a knife to kill the rat, but it proves to be too quick and manages to escape. In the process, the rat knocks over a lantern and a fire breaks out. Jason burns his hand trying to put out the fire, and the smoke begins to fill the bunker. They quickly manage to extinguish the flames. But the smoke is now rising through the ventilation system, revealing their location. Panic sets in once again as they realize the smoke could give away their hiding place to anyone searching for them. The next day, they wake to find a thick plume of smoke rising from the ground above. Their worst fears are realized. Their location has been compromised. Beth fears that the authorities or the infected people might be closing in on them. However, the family has no choice but to stay put and hope the smoke will disperse by nightfall. Jason reassures his wife and daughter that the smoke will hide their presence. But the constant fear of being discovered is overwhelming. As they sit in silence, they hear footsteps above them. It seems someone is searching the area, but they don't know if it's the military, infected survivors, or someone else entirely. The family remains quiet, hoping that whoever is above doesn't realize they are hiding below. After a tense wait, they decide to take action. Jason and Beth prepare to leave the bunker cautiously, knowing that they can't stay there forever. But before they can make a move, a terrifying noise echoes from the entrance. Something is approaching, and they don't know whether it's a friend or foe in a desperate attempt to escape. They carefully unlock the bunker door and step outside. The sight before them is terrifying. They see a dark figure moving swiftly through the forest, and the sound of heavy footsteps grows louder. Fearing it might be one of the infected or a military soldier, they retreat back into the bunker. The family knows they must act quickly if they want to survive. Jason, thinking on his feet, spots a ventilation shaft nearby and decides it may be their only escape route. The family begins to crawl through the narrow shaft, trying to avoid making any noise. But as they make their way through, they hear the unmistakable sound of someone approaching. The tension is unbearable, and the family is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Just as they think they've made it to safety, a massive figure steps into their path, blocking their way. It's too late to turn back now. Jason and Beth exchange looks of terror, knowing that whatever happens next could be their last moment of freedom, in a shocking twist. They discover that the figures they thought were enemies are not infected or military personnel at all. They are survivors, people who have been hiding from the virus just like them. The family, exhausted and terrified, realizes they are not alone in this world. These survivors have learned to live with the virus, controlling their anger and fear to avoid transforming into monsters. The virus isn't as deadly as they thought, but it still poses a serious threat if not managed carefully. As they join the group of survivors, they begin to understand the true nature of the virus. The government's attempts to eliminate the infected were based on fear. And now, it's clear that those who have survived are not monsters, but people who have learned to adapt. With this new knowledge, Jason, Beth, and Joey start to rebuild their lives among the survivors. They come to terms with their new reality, knowing that survival now depends on cooperation and understanding. The family's journey through fear, loss, uncertainty finally leads them to a place of hope as they begin to heal and find a new purpose